Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. In this segment, we're discussing tourism in Egypt, and actually during the days of the feast or the sacrifice feast, Eid al-Adha, most of the hotels in Egypt was fully booked. Whether the domestic tourism, the Egyptians or foreigners. All the hotels around Egypt, in Cairo, in Luxor, in Aswan, Sharm el-Sheikh, everywhere. So to shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to have with us over the phone our dear guest, Dr. Yehia Abdul, Tourism Counselor at the Ministry of Tourism. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, and how are you, and Eid Mubarak?
Thank you so much. Happy Eid to you and to your family. Well, Doctor, give us an idea about the news saying that the hotels in Egypt was fully booked during the days of the feast.
Well, really, like I've been reading, like statistics, like and surveys. So really, the Red Sea resorts and the Mediterranean as well, they are sold out. Because, like of the popularity of these destinations, we have, like the local residents, we have, like the Arab travelers who love to come to this time of the year to Egypt. And then we have, like internationally, like from Italy, from Ukraine, from Russia, from Turkey, from Poland, from all over the world. So the resorts in Sharm el-Sheikh, Qader, Al-Hashish, Qader and Marsa Alam, and Alamein as well. They've been fully booked for this time of the year.
Yes. As we have the news that Dr. Atif Abdul Latif, the president of the Travel and Tourism Association of Travelers and the member of the South Sinai and Marsa Alam Investors Association, said that the tourist occupancy rates in the feast holidays are full in most hotels, especially in Cairo, Alexandria, New Alamein, reaching 100%. He considered this a historical landmark. Also in Cairo, and the people enjoyed the beaches in Sharm el-Sheikh, particularly the family tourism. Also, he noted the occupancy of rates in Luxor, Aswan this week. Despite the high temperatures, there still people went on demand also. So what's your comment on this?
Well, really, this is quite true. There is high demand for the resorts, and this is time of the year because of the feast and for the summer vacations as well. And Egypt Air really supporting this, it having like 2 flights per week in Road to Alamein Resort to carry a large number of international travelers from Cairo and from main capital to Alamein. And there is a growing demand for travelers to Egypt because of its hospitality, location, archaeology, heritage,
yes,
and as well as tours to Egypt now are affordable.
Yes.
So visitors can stay like more time, like 7 days or 10 days on a regular trip.
Yes, Dr. Abdul Qader, this brings us to a very important point, which is the efforts by the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities to boost the domestic tourism in Egypt. Because, of course, it's very important. So give us an idea about this, please.
Well, really, the strategy of domestic tourism antiquities, has been highlighted, like and solidified to grow demand for domestic travel as for international arrivals as well.
Yes.
And this month,
yes,
we'll be receiving 500,000 visitors scheduled the flight from Jeddah to Cairo.
yes,
And in this month, throughout Emirates, Qatar, Riyadh, and Jeddah, will be receiving 1 million visitors, passengers, arriving to Egypt, by air.
yes.
So this shows, how the strategy for the Ministry for Promotion and Marketing really is paying off.
Yes. Yes. So the domestic tourism in Egypt is important, of course, to make the Egyptians, instead of spending the vacation outside Egypt and traveling to another country, to spend the vacation. So this brings us also to the important point, which is the family tourism.
Yes, it's a growing, segment of the market because Egyptian families, like the parents and the children and extended families, like with the grandparents even, they love traditionally to go to Alexandria, to Marsa Matruh, to Alamein, and others will go to Port Said, go to Suez, Ismailia, and the Red Sea resorts as well.
Yes.
So the resorts has been highly developed, and there is, excellent, highways that link Cairo and Alexandria with the major destinations. That's why you're having a growing demand for family and domestic travel to the Egyptian resort destination.
Yes. Also, Dr. Abdul Qader, we'd like to know about the nationalities that flow to Egypt with large numbers. We used to know, of course, the Russian tourists, the German tourists, also Japanese and Chinese tourists. So give us an idea about the nationalities.
Well, really, Arab travel, is highly densely motivated, to visit Egypt due to the historical ties, education, culture, entertainment and shopping as well. As for example, Spanish travelers, they love to go to Luxor and Aswan throughout the summer season. So
Yes.
there is seasonality preferences for each travel segment of the market, generating markets in Europe, Asia, and the Arab world as well. That's why we have a great demand for the Egyptian resorts in new locations, like Marsa Alam and the other resorts on the Red Sea and the Mediterranean and the islands as well.
Yes. What are the places or the governorates that attracted the tourists to Egypt most, whether domestic tourism or foreigners?
Well, domestic, is the classic one is like Port Said and Ismailia and Ras Al-Bar and Kafr al-Sheikh,
Alexandria,
Marsa Matruh.
Yes.
Yeah, but and another segment of to go to the Red Sea resorts, which is a little bit warm throughout this time of the year. But they mix and they blend, with international travelers from Ukraine, from Poland, from Germany, from Switzerland, from Italy, and from Russia as well. So there's a growing demand for Egyptian resorts, both on the Mediterranean and Red Sea resorts.
Yes. What were the preparations provided by the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities before the feast, and the program that was set in order to attract tourists to Egypt, or the domestic tourism inside Egypt?
Well, the Ministry of Tourism is planning, a city break for visitors when they come to Cairo, so they will spend about 4 or 5 days, enjoy its historical locations, attractions, entertainment and culture, as well as remember international cruises, cruise ships, that go throughout the Mediterranean. They stop in Port Said or Alexandria and Safaga and make daily tours to Cairo, and then they catch up, the cruises itinerary going to their, designated destinations, So we have a growing demand by air, by sea, by road, and really there's a growing demand for Egypt. And the railways, will extend all the way from Red Sea to Mediterranean, and this is going to create more demand and more international and domestic arrivals to Egypt.
Yes. The report is saying that also some of the areas or the governorates that attracted tourists is the new Alamein city, which is one of the, it's not an old city like other cities here or governorates. It's a new city. So that's very good. It says that the projects, the new projects are attracting tourists to Egypt. What's your comment?
Well, Sidi Abdurrahman, of course, has been a very old resort, maybe 100 years ago.
Yes.
But now with the development of new locations in Marina and North Coast and New Alamein, now there's more luxury and upscale resort. That's why it's classified as one of the top destinations on the Mediterranean. And we have, top hotel corporate destinations that manage, first-class resorts in that region. And so visitors, they can arrive throughout their own boats, you know, like from northern Mediterranean, from Italy, from Monaco, from Greece, from Malta. And then Egypt Air would be having 2 flights per week to carry passengers from Cairo and from other destinations. And of course, we have now an excellent network of roads and highways that makes travel to New Alamein and Marsa Matruh all the way very affordable and accessible.
Yes, yes. Dr. Abdul Qader, what are your expectations concerning the program provided for the tourists coming to Egypt in this summer?
Well, really, we have lots of activities, you know, like and attractions, you know, like we have special festivals annual, you know, like performed in the Red Sea, in Hurghada and Marsa Alam, and Saleh Hashish, Irgona and Hurghada, and Dahab as well, at Sharm el-Sheikh. So this is one of the attractions, you know, like that draws, you know, like international travel to Sharm el-Sheikh. We have the diving, we have the fishing, you know, like we have the entertainment and the safaris that travelers to Egypt love, you know, like to experience. And then we have the Mediterranean, really, the North Coast is performing and, you know, like providing excellent summer vacation, you know, like attractions and experiences to global, international and domestic travelers as well.
Yes, I thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your valuable information. Dr. Yehia Abdul Qader, the Tourism Counselor at the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities. Thank you very much for joining us over the phone. Ladies and gentlemen, happy feast to you and to your family from myself and from the Nile TV International, all the crew. And with this, we come to the end of this episode of our program, The Breakfast Show. My name is Amal Mukhtar. Thank you for watching.